Have you ever looked at your life and wondered why you aren't where you thought you'd be by now? You know, deep down, there's something more waiting for you, something that you can almost feel, just out of reach. But every time you try to grasp it, something holds you back. What if I told you that the difference between where you are now and where you truly want to be is something you already have within you? Think about it for a moment. How many times have you set a goal only to find yourself struggling to follow through? You start with passion, excitement, and a clear vision, but somehow you lose steam along the way. You tell yourself, tomorrow will be different, and yet, tomorrow never quite arrives. I've been there, I've felt that, and I know you felt it too. But here's the truth. The key to unlocking your greatest potential is not somewhere out there in the world, it's inside you, right now. What's holding you back isn't a lack of ability or opportunity, it's the lack of one thing: a disciplined mind. Discipline. It's not a word that sounds glamorous, I know. We've all been conditioned to think of it as something rigid, something that holds us back from freedom. But in reality, discipline is the gateway to your freedom. It's the force that will push you through every obstacle, silence every distraction, and help you push past your limits. I want you to understand this. True success does not come from talent alone. It doesn't come from luck, chance, or the perfect circumstances. Success is a product of consistency. Success is born from mastering your own mind. Once you realize this, everything changes. You are the one who decides how far you can go. You are the one who chooses whether you break through your own barriers or stay stuck where you are. The journey to greatness begins with discipline. It's not a moment of magic. It's a series of small, consistent choices. And it starts now. The path to success isn't about waiting for things to happen. It's about creating a mindset that makes success inevitable. Every single day, you have the power to decide. Will you give in to comfort, or will you rise to the challenge? Will you allow your circumstances to define you, or will you define your circumstances? This isn't just about ambition. This is about your life, your future, your potential, and the power to shape it with a mind that is in control. Now, let's break down how we can build that disciplined mind. Let's get started. Discipline is about making conscious choices every single day that align with your highest goals. It's about prioritizing what matters most, even when distractions, laziness, or the pull of comfort try to drag you off course. True discipline means having the mental clarity to see the bigger picture, even when the details in front of you seem overwhelming or insignificant. It means choosing the long-term rewards over the short-term pleasures, understanding that every decision, no matter how small, compounds over time and leads you to the life you envision for yourself. Think about someone like Kobe Bryant. We all know the stories of his legendary work ethic. But it wasn't just about hitting the gym every day, though he certainly did that. It was about his ability to say no to the distractions that most people would consider harmless, like late nights out, easy comforts, or even things that weren't directly related to basketball. For Kobe, discipline meant doing the hard things, day after day, year after year. Even when the rewards were far off in the distance. It meant making the sacrifices others weren't willing to make, and that's why he became one of the greatest players in history. And here's the thing, discipline is not a trait that you're born with. It's a skill, just like any other, and it can be developed. Just like a muscle, the more you use it, the stronger it gets. You see, when you consistently make disciplined choices, your brain starts to wire itself for success. The science behind this is fascinating. Your brain thrives on patterns. Every time you make a decision, whether to hit the snooze button or wake up early, to take the easy path or push through the struggle, it forms a neural pathway. The more often you make a particular choice, the stronger that pathway becomes until it's almost automatic. In simple terms, when you discipline your mind to make better choices, you're literally rewiring your brain. You're creating a feedback loop where the right decisions become easier and more natural. But this takes time, it takes consistency, and it takes the understanding that your mind is capable of change. You can train it to become more focused, more resilient, and more in tune with your goals. So let's remember, discipline isn't just about routine. It's about aligning your choices with your future. It's about turning the mental actions of today into the success of tomorrow. And that's how champions are made, not just on the court or in the boardroom, but in the small moments when no one is watching. Now, let's take a deeper look at why discipline is so powerful and why the results you're seeking are all within your control. There's a common misconception when it comes to discipline. People think it's about strict control, about forcing yourself to live a life of constant deprivation. They imagine that discipline means saying no to everything that brings comfort, that it's about punishing yourself for every mistake. But that's not what discipline is at all. Discipline is about building systems that support your best self. It's about creating routines, habits, and environments that make it easier to succeed. Instead of relying on willpower alone, you set yourself up for success by designing your life in a way that aligns with your highest goals. Discipline doesn't restrict you, it frees you. It removes the need for constant decision-making and removes the chaos that comes from a lack of structure. But the problem is, many of us get caught up in the idea that discipline is synonymous with suffering. We think it means we have to cut out everything that brings us joy, everything that feels good. In reality, true discipline allows you to focus on the things that matter most, cutting out the distractions that would otherwise hold you back from living your best life. Another reason most people struggle to build discipline is because they expect immediate results. We live in a world of instant gratification. Social media, fast food, and quick fixes are everywhere. So, when it comes to our own personal growth, we expect the same speed. We want to see immediate rewards for our hard work, but that's not how true success works. The reality is that success doesn't come overnight. It's a gradual process, built on small, consistent actions that compound over time. It's like planting a seed. You don't see the growth right away, but every day the roots are digging deeper, and soon enough, the tree starts to emerge. The same is true for your goals. You don't see massive results from the first day you commit to discipline. But every small action you take is laying the foundation for something monumental. This is where the concept of delayed gratification comes in. In a world where we're constantly conditioned to want things now, it's easy to forget that real success takes time. The ability to delay gratification, to resist the urge for immediate rewards in favor of long-term goals, is the hallmark of a disciplined mind. The small sacrifices you make today will lead to bigger, more meaningful rewards in the future. It's not about punishing yourself or denying yourself pleasure. It's about making conscious decisions that build toward a bigger, better outcome down the line. Consider something as simple as saving money. If you want financial freedom, you don't just spend every paycheck as it comes. Instead, you save, you invest, and you build over time. The rewards are not immediate, but in time, the compound effect will give you results you never thought possible. This is exactly how discipline works. Discipline doesn't ask you to do it all at once. It asks you to stay consistent, to show up, and to believe in the power of small actions that, when compounded, will lead you to your greatest success. If you're serious about building a disciplined mind, the first step is to develop self-awareness. You need to understand where you are right now, what habits, routines, and mindsets you currently operate with. Without this awareness, it's impossible to know where to begin or how to improve. Take a moment to reflect. Think about your daily habits. What's working for you and what's holding you back? Ask yourself, what's one thing I know I should be doing but haven't? Maybe it's waking up earlier to seize the day, or dedicating time to focus on your personal growth. Whatever it is, it's time to face the truth about what you're putting off. Discipline starts when you acknowledge the gap between where you are and where you want to be, and decide that you're ready to take responsibility for bridging that gap. This moment of self-reflection is crucial. It's where your journey begins, not just in terms of building discipline, but in terms of building the life you want. Without honesty and self-awareness, there's no true growth. So, take some time to reflect on your habits. Identify what's holding you back and be willing to face it head-on. Once you have a clearer picture of where you are, it's time to set clear, achievable goals. This is the next step to building discipline. A goal without clarity is just a wish. You need to know exactly what you want to accomplish and why it matters. Here's the key. When you set specific, actionable goals, you create a roadmap that gives you direction and purpose. It helps you stay focused, especially when distractions arise. Vague goals like, I want to get fit, or I want to be successful, don't work. They're too broad. Instead, think about measurable, concrete goals, like, I will work out for 30 minutes every day this week, or I will read one book a month on personal development. These specific goals give you a clear target to aim for and help you track your progress. But setting goals is only the beginning. You need to break down large goals into smaller, manageable tasks. The bigger the goal, the more overwhelming it can feel. And that's where most people get stuck. They look at the mountain ahead and don't know where to start, so they end up doing nothing at all. Instead, break the mountain down into steps. What's the first thing you can do today that will move you closer to that goal? And the next day, what's the next small action? Focus on one step at a time, and you'll find that the climb isn't as daunting as it seems. Next comes the importance of creating and sticking to a routine. You see, discipline isn't about constantly forcing yourself to do hard things. It's about creating a structure where success becomes automatic. A well-constructed daily routine can turn discipline into a habit. It's about making the right choices so ingrained in your day that you don't have to think twice about them. Take a look at some of the most successful people in the world. What do they have in common? A productive morning routine. It's no coincidence. Most of them start their day early with intentional activities that set the tone for success. Whether it's meditation, journaling, exercise, or setting clear goals for the day, these habits prime their minds for focus and productivity. And guess what? You can adopt the same habits. You don't have to wake up at 4 a.m. to be successful, but having a routine that empowers you rather than drains you is essential. If you don't have a morning routine yet, start simple. Try setting aside 10 minutes each morning to plan your day and center your mind. Over time, you can build on that. Sticking to a routine, however, requires accountability. This is where many people falter. It's easy to slip when no one is watching, but accountability makes a huge difference in your success. When you track your progress, whether it's in a journal, an app, or a simple checklist, you reinforce the discipline that you're building. You see the tangible results of your efforts, and that keeps you motivated to continue. You might also want to consider finding an accountability partner. This could be a friend, family member, or even a colleague who is also focused on their goals. When you share your goals with someone else, you create a sense of social pressure, which can be a powerful motivator. You don't want to let them down, and they don't want to let you down either. It's a win-win. But there's another form of accountability that can help too: public accountability. Share your goals with your community, on social media, in a group chat, or in a blog. By putting your goals out into the world, you add an extra layer of commitment. You're no longer just doing it for yourself. You're doing it for the people who are cheering you on. The fear of disappointing them can often be the spark that keeps you disciplined when motivation wanes. So, to build mental discipline, start by reflecting on your current habits. Set clear and specific goals. Create a daily routine that supports your success, and hold yourself accountable. Progress may not come instantly, but with consistency and intention, you will develop the discipline that turns dreams into reality. No matter how committed you are to your goals, setbacks are inevitable. At some point, you'll face challenges that will test your resolve, and it's in these moments that your discipline is truly put to the test. It's easy to think that failure means the end of the road, that it's a sign that you're not cut out for success. But I want you to change that mindset right now. Failure is not a roadblock. It's an essential part of the journey. It's an opportunity to learn, adjust, and grow stronger. Take Thomas Edison, for example. When he was inventing the light bulb, he faced countless failures. In fact, he failed thousands of times before he succeeded. But Edison didn't see those failures as setbacks. He saw them as lessons. He famously said, "I have not failed. I have just found 1,000,000 ways that won't work." His discipline wasn't about avoiding failure. It was about continuing to push forward, learning from every attempt, until he finally found the solution that changed the world. And then there's Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players of all time. Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. Imagine that. The future NBA legend, rejected by his own coach. But did he give up? No. Instead, he used that failure as fuel. He worked harder, practiced longer, and came back stronger. Jordan was disciplined enough to turn every rejection into a step forward. In his own words, "I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed." But he didn't let those failures define him. He let them drive him. So, when you face setbacks, remember this: failure is part of the process. The most successful people in the world have failed more times than they've won, but they didn't quit. They stayed disciplined, kept learning, and kept pushing forward. You can do the same. But there's something else we need to talk about when it comes to discipline: avoiding burnout. You might think that discipline means pushing yourself harder and harder, working every hour of the day, never resting until you reach your goals. But if you keep pushing without balance, you will eventually burn out. And burnout isn't just about being physically tired. It's mental and emotional exhaustion that can derail your progress entirely. You need to find the balance between hustle and rest. You cannot pour from an empty cup. So it's crucial to take care of your body, your mind, and your spirit. One of the best ways to maintain your discipline without burning out is to schedule regular breaks. This could mean taking short breaks during your workday, scheduling a day off to recharge, or even setting aside time to disconnect from work entirely. Successful people understand the power of rest. It's not just about recuperation, it's about allowing your mind and body the space to reset, so you can return to your work with renewed energy and focus. Think about it like this. Even the most finely tuned machine needs maintenance. You can't expect to run at full capacity without taking time to refuel. The same goes for your mind and body. Your productivity will only remain high if you allow yourself time for relaxation and self-care. In addition to taking breaks, make time for personal growth outside of your work. Discipline doesn't only apply to your professional life, it should be present in every aspect of your life. Dedicate time to learning, reading, meditating, or engaging in a hobby that nourishes your soul. By making time for personal growth, you'll stay motivated and connected to your deeper purpose. These moments of reflection and rest will fuel your drive and keep your discipline intact for the long haul. The bottom line is this: you must balance your hard work with rest. You can't be on the grind 24/7 without paying the price. So when you feel like you're hitting a wall, take a step back, reassess, and give yourself permission to rest. To stay disciplined, you must also be kind to yourself. Allow space for growth, reflection, and recovery. Keep going, but don't forget to care for your mind and body along the way. Now that you know how to handle setbacks and avoid burnout, let's talk about the final piece of the puzzle: how to maintain your discipline over the long term, no matter what comes your way. Imagine waking up each day with a sense of purpose, knowing exactly what needs to be done and feeling confident in your ability to achieve it. This is the power of a disciplined mind. Mental discipline doesn't just change what you do, it changes who you are. It transforms your entire life, creating a ripple effect that touches every part of your world. Think about the productivity of someone like Elon Musk. Musk doesn't just work hard, he works with precision. He schedules his time in 5-minute blocks, optimizing every minute for maximum efficiency. His discipline allows him to oversee multiple companies while pushing the boundaries of innovation. But more than the business success, the emotional payoff is evident in his deep sense of purpose. His discipline fuels his drive to change the world. But this isn't just about money or career success. It's also about the deep internal rewards that come with living a life of intention. When you are disciplined, you build confidence. You know that you can rely on yourself to follow through on your commitments, no matter how big or small. This reliability builds inner strength and pride in the work you do. You begin to trust yourself in ways you never did before, and that trust creates a solid foundation of self-respect. Mental discipline also brings emotional and psychological rewards. With discipline, you experience a greater sense of inner peace. You stop chasing distractions and instead learn to focus on what truly matters. This focus brings clarity, reducing the noise and stress that often comes from a lack of direction. Now that you've learned the power of a disciplined mind and the incredible rewards it can bring, it's time to take action. Don't let this moment pass without making a decision that will change your life. Ask yourself, what is one thing I can commit to changing today to start building my mental discipline? It could be something simple, a small habit, a change in your routine, or a decision to stop procrastinating. Whatever it is, take that first step now. Don't wait for the perfect moment. The best time to start is always today. Here's a challenge for you. Set a 30-day goal for yourself. A goal that will help you develop stronger mental discipline. It could be anything from waking up earlier, to finishing a book, to exercising regularly, or sticking to a new work habit. Break that goal down into smaller, manageable steps and track your progress every day. Keep yourself accountable. Each day you stay disciplined will build momentum, and by the end of 30 days, you'll have transformed a part of your life. Remember, discipline is not built overnight, but each day of focused effort brings you one step closer to becoming the person you want to be. Thank you for watching, and I believe in you. The road to success starts with a single decision. Make that decision today. Stay disciplined, stay focused, and never forget that the power to change your life is in your hands. Keep pushing forward, and I'll see you at the top. If you found this message valuable, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you never miss another video that can help you take your life to the next level. Join our community of like-minded individuals who are committed to growth and success.